Okay, so today for Writer's Workshop, argumentative versus persuasive writing. So the end goal has always been to end up with an argumentative paper. We're going to talk about how to do that today. Success criteria. I can explain the difference between argumentative and persuasive writing. I can write an argumentative introduction that provides background information, states my opinion, identifies logical reasons that support my claim, and acknowledges an alternative perspective. I can write an argumentative conclusion that restates my opinion, reveals a call to action, reminds the reader what is at stake, finishes with a clever one-liner, and acknowledges an alternative perspective. So here are the differences between persuasive and argumentative writing. So you see persuasive writing, the purpose is to get the reader to agree with him or her perspective. The perspectives presented are based on writer's personal conviction that their way of thinking is best. It only includes the writer's perspective. The starting point for persuasive is knowing your opinion and claim, and support for persuasive writing is opinions and feelings. So the writer uses their own passion and or plays off reader emotions to get what they want. Argumentative writing is different. So the purpose, the writer aims to get the reader to accept his or her perspective as truth, not just to accept their perspective, but to believe that it is the truth. The perspectives presented in argumentative writing acknowledge opposing views with a pro-con piece. This demonstrates the writer as a fair-minded person and gives them the opportunity to counter these perspectives with more logic, reasoning, and proof. So you're acknowledging the other side of your claim, the people who disagree with you, and you are basically saying that your side is more convincing and is true. The starting point of argumentative writing is conducting initial research on a debatable topic, aligning with the strongest side, continuing gathering facts and research. So an argumentative piece starts with research. The support for an argumentative essay is relying on logical reasons that are all substantiated by facts, data, expert quotes, and evidence. Now you're going to list one or two differences between argumentative and persuasive. Okay, big takeaway, argumentative and persuasive. So persuasive writing, the author presents one side of a topic or issue. There's no acknowledgement of the other side. Argumentative requires development of both sides of the issue, acknowledging there are valid counterclaims from the opposition. Basically, argumentative writing is a debate presenting both sides and represented by facts, evidence, and relevant support. So, similar to the closing arguments at the end of a Law and Order episode, if you've ever seen any TV or movies that have portrayed a hearing in a courtroom, that's what it's referring to. You have to be the prosecutor and the defense attorney. So, there are two essays here. Essay 1 about animal testing and essay 2 about animal testing. You're going to read both essays, and then you're going to tell me which one or two, is the argumentative side. Okay, also, how do you easily identify the counterclaim, the other side of an argument? Using sentence frames helps you identify a counterclaim in an argumentative piece. Also, use the sentence frames in your own writing to make sure you clearly include a counterclaim. So here are examples of counterclaim sentences. Critics argue that, while it might be true that, still, all in all, others may say that, but I argue. A common argument against this position is, but it may be true, however, it is easy to think blank, but when you look at the facts, blank. While some researchers say blank, nevertheless, blank. It is often thought, imagined, supposed. So you can go on, but those are the ones that I'm giving you. Now you need to open your persuasive essay. Use a sentence starter to create a counterclaim. So this is just what is the other side of the issue. For instance, if you're saying all students should not have to wear a uniform and you have your reasons, the counterclaim would be Some people believe students should have to wear a uniform because, and then you need to research and find out a reason why they say students should have to wear uniforms. Okay? Then you're going to kind of oppose it with another strong fact. So, moving on to the introduction part. Remember, you already have an introduction written for your persuasive essay. Your persuasive essay includes the hook, which is not on the slide for some reason, background information, your opinion, which is your thesis, and your 3 reasons. Your persuasive conclusion, restating your opinion and thesis, that means you're stating your thesis in a different way than you did in your introduction. It's the same meaning, but you want to use different words. You're going to reveal a call to action, remind the reader what is at stake, and then finish with a very strong sentence, which is called a one-liner. Argumentative introductions and conclusions, you only have to add one ingredient, the counterclaim. Okay, that's all you need to do to the work you've already done. So that's like 1 or 2 sentences. So an argumentative piece mentions the other side of the argument. It typically uses opening phrase like some say a common belief is. Remember those sentence starters. So you're going to highlight the claim in the argument. Then you're going to look for the counterclaim in the argument. When you are writing your argumentative introduction, your counterclaim goes between the background knowledge and your thesis. So it looks like this. Hook, background knowledge, counterclaim, thesis statement. You're just adding that counterclaim to what you have already done. Okay, so don't worry about this part right now. Now you're looking at conclusions. You need to highlight the claim. You need to highlight the counterclaim. And then the format for an argumentative conclusion that you're going to use is the counterclaim goes first, then you restate your thesis, reveal a call to action, remind the reader what is at stake, and finish with a one-liner. So counterclaim, restate thesis, reveal call to action, remind the reader what is at stake, finish with a one-liner. Okay, so in order to write a conclusion, that's what you're going to do. Don't worry about writing a counterclaim for your conclusion or your introduction now. As long as you did the counterclaim earlier, you can add that into your paper tomorrow. So you do need to answer this slide in 1 minute. Write the most important thing about argumentative introductions and conclusions that you learned from today's lesson. And that is all for today.